Suppose this is where I leave you then. I owe you my life, envoy. I won't soon forget what you did. I don't know. It's all just sinking in. I hope the folks at the embassy know where to find a good, strong drink. You don't have to. Just go up the pier. I imagine they've sent someone official-like to take you there.
Must be nice, eh?
Well, it's the Living Land's biggest port. People come from all over. Not all of them are Adir's friends.
Wonder why?
You'll be fine. After the fort, I figure you can survive anything. Same to you. You'll make the Emperor proud, I'm sure of it.
Look, I'll no thank you for showing basic decency. But you saved my life. That counts for something. To me, anyway. I don't push her luck. Not all of them. But it's not a great way to make friends. Give Paradisans a chance. That's why they came here in the first place. Try not to get killed. Nah, I'm kidding. Just don't go around acting like you own the place, alright? Hope we don't run into each other. Still, take care of yourself.
These docks are reserved for the Imperial Envoy of Adir.
You know, if you just tell me where the claviture is, I'd get out of your head.
Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And he's late. Huh, probably died at sea. Good riddance. Wait, you're the... Oh, fuck.
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradise. Unlike most Adirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so... Well...
You're doing great.
Forgive me, again. We're having a bit of an emergency. No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our claviger. No, there's some kind of blight in the wilderness and rumors of plague. They went to investigate. Nature has a mind of its own in these parts. When the ecosystem changes, we ask ourselves how and why.
Leaderless and rudderless is the natural state of things in Paradise anyway. Keeps things interesting.
Well, he's the closest thing we have to a local authority. Part keeper of the keys, part bald fist.
Paradise's mayor, more or less. Most people out here aren't fond of established hierarchies and titles. So we made up some new ones.
I'm sorry, Envoy, but no one's here to receive it.
Nonsense. There's a small army of pickpockets, smugglers, and scoundrels between those walls who'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Just ignore him.
Where did you say they went? Because I've got an idea.
They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargroon Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the claviger. How's about we partner up? See, Cynric, I knew someone would appreciate me for me.
Kai, before you go, I just hate to send the envoy out there. The wilderness is no place for a scholar. Make sure he comes back alive, or the steel garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
The Steel Garrote are here as guests, helping Adirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say.
That's certainly what they'd like you to believe. Sounds like their reputation back home in Adir isn't any better than it is here.
They're an order of religious cutthroats sharpening their blades for the glory of the burned queen. Oof, creepy bunch, too. Who needs enemies when you have friends like the Steel Garrote? You tell me, Envoy. The Adirans came to our shores with their soldiers, their bureaucrats, and their cult of murderers. Asking a lot of nosy questions is a good way to end up with a knife in your back. Speaking of the Steel Garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwine, is eager to greet you, or possibly interrogate you. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the burned queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the Deadfire, and death spat her back out. Not if you value your life.
We'll have time to worry about Ludwine later. First, we've got to find your ambassador and my claviger. I'll bet you're glad to be on dry land after that voyage. Come on, let's get you some fresh air. Porgrunen left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
City's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Adirans will outnumber us 3-1.
Why doesn't the Clavager put a stop to it?
What do you think, dimwit? He's nice and cozy in the ambassador's pocket. That's enough for now. You got a listener.
Piss off. What are you looking at? Watch where you're going. Wouldn't want you getting hurt now, would we?
Feels like the living lands is growing wilder every day.
Greetings, friend. You look like you could use a fine weapon or a sturdy shield. Not to worry, Walter is here. I suggest you take a look at my wares before you speak to Daggerda. Who knows what mood she's in today? From legitimate sources, clearly. From traders and adventurers, mostly, and a few used pieces from people down on their luck. Apologies, friend. People see me selling weapons on the harbor and call my morals into question. I assure you, all of my wares have been vetted for quality and polished thoroughly to remove any unwanted stains. Well, I believe my wares speak for themselves. Figuratively, I mean.
What harm could some new armor do? Heading out to the wilds? Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to...
Kai, I told you not to show your face around here again.
Come on. You're not still mad about that hunting knife, are you?
All right, no. You're clear. But you better pay up front this time.
I knew you'd come around. You miss me.
I'll let you think that. Now don't mind him. What are you interested in? Yeah, some of the oldest in Paradise. He's a headache, but that's because you want him to come back alive.
So you do care.
I lagged the garrote for you. Do I have to spell it out?
Protect that pretty face. Armor and shields for sale, envoy.
Welcome to Dawnshore, Traveler. My name is Daggerda. You seem like you could use a nice potion or a bite to eat. And I promise a safe and pleasant transaction, despite whatever Walter told you. I'm sure he did. He'd rather chase off my customers than admit he was wrong. To be honest, stranger, I'm not inclined to go into it. He knows what he did, and let's leave it at that.
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls, man.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind. I can't believe how rude everyone is around here. How hard could it be to find a watcher? That's a long way to walk. Oh well. The house is probably a loss by now. I'm clearly under some kind of curse. A band of Zorips invaded my house. What am I gonna do? Why did they do anything? They've probably eaten all my food and destroyed my supplies. I don't know what else. First, my ship gets attacked by pirates. Then none of my plants will take. Now this happens? And they won't let me into Paradise to sort it out? The militia. They're scared of some plague. At least that's what they say. I wonder if it's really the Adirans. Keep us out and themselves in. I should never have come here.
Come here for a better life and find a worse one. Wish I hadn't heard that before.
It's hard to put it into words. I just feel like I should be here. I'd heard it was dangerous, but the Glenfathan wilds were dangerous. I thought I was prepared. I had no idea what I was in for. I wanted to grow a little food, save some skates. They never thrived, that's all. Clearly, I have bigger things to worry about. Gods, is it in the crops? As if things couldn't get any worse. Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by itself. Gods know I can't go back. And there's nothing to steal either. The Zorips saw to that. Come back when you've dealt with them, and make sure you get their leader, too. I'm sorry, but I don't think they'll go quietly. You'll have to kill. Never thought I'd miss that dingy little place.
I've come in search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose so, actually. There are some Pargrunan ruins to the north, just across the river from the Strangle route. The Pargrunan are said to have left behind many treasures.
Very good. I will remember you. You will be justly compensated upon my return.
Yeah, sure. Just be careful, all right? The land gets more dangerous the further north you go. No telling what might be waiting for you.
Do not worry, little man. I have stared death in the face before, and have no fear of these supposed dangers.
All right. Well, good luck.
It's a fine day for adventuring.
Something tells me I won't be getting that compensation.
The living lands are a dangerous place. Time to resupply.
First get leaves, his letters won't turn up. Que larde! I'd heard a godlike had come to Paradise.
Oh, hey, Sansa. Comes on a little strong, that's all. He doesn't bite.
But to meet you, what an honor. Who is your patron? Were you drawn to this place? I apologize. My curiosity got the better of me. Surely you see, though, a god-like envoy, you are quite unusual. Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? I assume that's a no? Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my height. He must have gone farther than I thought. His name is Girmund. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. Bandits, smugglers, spiders with eyes as big as plates.
You know how many so-called adventurers I've saved out there?
It's an intrepid occupation.
3, this month.
As I said, if you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay you for it. I may even have more work for you. When he last wrote, he was mapping the eastern ruins. Take the letter. It might help. If you find him, bring his work to my shop in Paradise Town. You're welcome anytime. I have quite the assortment of curios. Maybe you'll even buy one of my maps.
Well, that's our marching orders then.
Build another palisade just like the last. When this one falls, you a deer in 2 days.
Tire on the side. You
If the stone wall up the road didn't last, your pointy sticks don't stand a chance.
Maybe it's superstition, but Audra like this usually marks a good spot to rest. Dawnshore is most people's first view of the living lands and last brush with civilization. You know, for most people, getting sent to the living lands is a punishment. But, according to Cynric, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position. You must have gone through one of Adir's famous academies. I can't imagine you had time for much other than your studies, so tell me, is this your first time getting dirt under your fingernails? Fair enough. I didn't mean to offend. What I really want to know, since hard questions are your specialty, is why the Emperor would send his best scholar all the way to the living lands. Oh, that almost does sound like a punishment. I don't know how you investigate a so-called plague of the soul, so better you than me. Being a godlike, I don't suppose your patron deity gives you any unique insights into matters of the soul, do they? Sorry. It's a rare sight, and these are strange times. I haven't met anyone who's really seen the Dream Scourge yet, but that hasn't stopped people from worrying about the rumors. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case. Not much. It's hard to separate fact from rumor. I've heard it changes people, makes them confused, disoriented, and eventually violent. No one seems to know exactly how it starts. And here I was hoping for good news. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador. Exactly. Paradise has been quiet lately, but I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomads, exiles, and dissidents. People who tend to be suspicious of authority. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Someone once told me you need more than a little crazy to last out here. I get the feeling you'll fit right in. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. It's the gateway to the living lands, a scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sense, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the living lands. Don't get me wrong, it's a great city. In part because it's great at winnowing out people who have no business being here. The living lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it, and the island gives no quarter. For a lot of people, the living lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from. Oh, little of everything. Rawatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be, if you could last out here, you could count on being left alone. That's what some fear. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew. They say people afflicted with it have strange, vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So dream Scourge. Well, you seem pretty lucid to me. I wouldn't worry. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first. Ask away. That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. A settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rowatayan expatriates. You're pretty nosy, aren't you? And I thought that Inquisitor was intimidating. Things just didn't work out there. Let's leave it at that. I joined up with the Rowatayan Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Not that long before, but yeah. Back then, we weren't even making pretenses at our purpose there. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Rawatai. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins. To add they're bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier, then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either. Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rowatayan deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. I ended up here, didn't I? It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough. Had enough. I did. Yeah. For a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you. What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales? Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Rowatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere, or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary. That certainly doesn't hurt. Nor does the fact that many of us are excellent singers. If you ever find yourself in Tekoa, visit the Lore College to hear the chanters. In Deadfire, the Huana water shapers can sing the waves into incredible sculptures and devastating salvos. Then you must have come during our sunny season, lashed by storms and battered by waves. We call it the rough country, and old trenchers say it's made us who we are. We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rawatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere. You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make Rawatai a difficult place to live have shaped our people and our kingdom. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rawatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Aora. It's been hard-won across a variety of conquests, cooperatives, and trading colonies. Some of the traditionalists worry that prosperity is making us as complacent and soft-handed as our rivals. Same as traditionalists everywhere. Me, I prefer the simplicity of the living lands. Kill the thing that's trying to kill you, and hope it has some edible meat on it. I'll tell you what I can. Night, envoy. I haven't seen this much excitement in a while. Perhaps I've got you to thank for bringing it with you, envoy. After your voyage, it must be nice to spend the night on dry land. Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is.
Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Strangle Root is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Birth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal. They say the Emperor sent one of his great intellectuals. We could use someone like that.
Your reputation precedes you.
It's all above my rank, but it means High Crown's taking our situation out here seriously. I hope your voyage here was smooth as good butter. I know maybe too much about rough seas, what with serving in the galleys. Did you deserve it? Kidding. Sorry to hear, envoy. The Living Lands is dangerous. We should be sticking together. Can't imagine what might have possessed them to do that. I hope it isn't the damn soul plague. I haven't seen anything like that before. It seems to change people. Animals. Feels sometimes like the plague is alive somehow. Sorry for the glib tongue. I've tried to be more proper before. Didn't work. I'm no good at niceties, including abiding by most rules. The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends, no. Although, I think that's Adia's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adia makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past. Land? No, absolutely not. What I've learned is you can either obey the rules or die. I got caught for my many small, petty crimes and spent about 6 years on the prison galleys. Then, a year ago, an Adiran official came to the jails and told us we could serve the Empire for a shortened sentence or rot. You can guess which I chose. Seems reasonable to me, too. If I get lucky, I might even die out here. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal. 3 square meals, bed of my own, maybe even a chance to retire as a clerk. Wouldn't mind being bored stupid for a few years. Better than the alternative. But first, even more palisades. About Adir. Same hungry empire that is looking to gobble up the Living Lands. The one that sends people out to maybe die for its ambitions. Kind of you to ask, envoy. But truth is, not really. Idea's fair and good to the people it thinks deserve compassion. But break its trust, and well, Idea will make you crawl to retrieve the pieces. You can tell it's a place that worships Wodica. Actually, I miss the pies. Crust's all wrong here. Just take a look down the road, and you'll see the last palisades we tried to hold. And the ones before them. We're trying our best to keep the wilds at bay here, envoy. The Strangle Root is hungry. Every day, it gets closer. Every day, weirder creatures crawl out from its foliage. Be careful if you're headed out there. Anyway, Bargrunin beer is surprisingly terrible. Always trust in a Mauen to know where the best seafood is. Pay attention when the locals tell you something. And watch out for poets. Something's odd about them. Listen, envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask. Once again, I'm no cartographer. You know what they say about continents with small acreage? They've got big personalities. Little bit of everything here. Poison swamps, deserts, snow-covered mountains, volcanoes, acid seas. Because why not? A cartographer might be able to tell you more. I hear there's one in town. I don't know. I mean, I know some people in Adir think of godlike as blessed by the gods. What with you lot having a divine resemblance and all. Although, I guess some folk think godlike are cursed. Depends on what sort you are. Frankly, I don't know if I've seen your particular kind before. Still, I think there are stranger things than you in the living lands, envoy. No offense, but more importantly... No, none. It's all untamed wilderness and feral heathens. I'm joking. Of course there are. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn, where all the ruffians dwell. And Solus Keep, which has the Pargrunin, who don't like anybody. And happily, too. Sounds like they've got a whole colony of inventors and researchers there. If I weren't a servant of the Adiran Empire, I might say it sounds fascinating. Groundbreaking, even. I know animancy is considered blasphemous and dangerous, but Fjord supplies most of the produce we eat here in Paradise. They must be doing something right. Miscreants and layabouts and all those great things. The kind of people who can make a life out of impossibly bad situations. Settlements just as rough and tumble. Wouldn't mind having a drink with the locals, to be honest. They sound like they've got stories. You know what I mean? Heard they're under siege right now, though, by those dream thralls. Wouldn't want to be them, between the desert weather and that. I mean, the Pargrunin dwarves won't talk to anybody. They stay inside Solus Keep and just never come out. That it lives up to its name. Wilder place than Adir, which has been stomped into civility. The living land scares our empire, I think. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sending its most expendable folk here. Present company excluded, of course. I think the living lands won't want to be leashed by the empire, though. But that's my opinion. I've been here a while. Ask them, then. You're a nice distraction, envoy. He and the Clavager passed through not long ago. I didn't much like it, but they refused an escort. Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Clavager keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though. Purportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like a hummingbird's. He and the ambassador make a good pair, honestly. The ambassador talks a lot. The Clavager gets the administrative day-to-day done. Less competent than he seems. You think with all the time the ambassador spends working, he'd have more done. No. I hear he's about a sneeze away from swallowing the muck he's paddling in. Poor man. Honestly, I'm more scared of her than Woduka. At least I understand why the Burned Queen is so pissed. Ludwig runs the Steel Garrote, Woduka's order of paladins. The only thing they care about is their Burned Queen. There's honor among thieves, envoy. But zealots, they'll raise the world for their god.
Clearly his tits. Someone was actually brazen enough to sneak into the camp for this. This.
People are angry. They can't see how much good we've done for everyone since we got here. They'll come around, though.
Yeah. I just hope Inquisitor Ludwig and the Steel Garrote don't see this and take matters into their own hands.
Agreed. Nobody deserves to die for this. And that's exactly what would happen to those bloody fools.
We'll get this cleaned up right away, envoy.
Whoever did this, better pray to all the gods that they aren't discovered.
So, how long do you think it'll be before the locals realize how much good we're doing for them? Realize? They're never gonna realize anything of the sort. We'll always be the invaders to them. No, I don't think so. It's only been a few years. They'll come around eventually, I'm sure of it. They have to. Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, kid. I honestly don't care what the locals think. Past time they joined the civilized world.
Look, Paradise and Ladder. When heated, the resin forms a hard coat that strengthens weapons and armor. Incoming Zarops! Oh, no, you don't! Those Zarops must have been scavenging supplies, too.
Good fighter.
I think there's something on the upper floor. We might be able to reach it from outside. Quiet as the depths. Those must be your ambassador's men. That's a bad sign. This used to be a good fishing spot, until something started dragging people away. bad luck to hang around a graveyard. Maybe we should move on.
We've got trouble. Uninvited company.
Grave robbers. Reincarnating as rats would be a step up.
Take your best shot. On your right. Oh. That's one for us. You're mine now! Time to rally.
Despite the name, the Living Lands isn't an easy place to make a life. But it breeds resourcefulness. Pargrunen built these walls and much of Paradis centuries ago. Much of their work still stands. Careful. Looks like spiders nearby. Right behind you. Aim where? Another one down. Here we go! What am I hitting? Give me a target. What's the target? Hey! Over here! Next one's mine! can't. Another glorious battle. Wilds are getting deadlier by the day, but people have to eat.
Where's my mark?
Give me a target. What's the target? What am I hitting? Aim where? Come and get me! One for you! This used to be a shortcut to Emerald Stair. Then the land got other ideas.
Show me what you got!
A rot seeps through here. Who poisons us? We cannot see.
I'm always telling visitors we're not as crazy as they've heard. Odd. Didn't used to be this overgrown. I can take care of that. For that if you want.
Where's my mark? What am I hitting? Aye, aye. Give me a target. That's a bad way to go.
It's almost like brambles are trying to push that house. Another win, but who's counting? Coming in hot.
Nice shot!
scourge invades, claw it out. It breathes. It is close.
That's the claviger. What happened?
Are you blind? We're being hunted. Get rid of the band, we'll talk after. Monstrosity! Well done!
What happened to that bear?
Poor bastard. One of Ludwine's toy soldiers. I never even learned their name. Not that it would have done us any good. My savior. Oh, thank the gods. Your arrival couldn't have been more timely. I wouldn't have stood a chance against that beast. I owe you my life. Ambassador Falchion Heelguard at your service. And you must be our Imperial envoy. Better late than never, I say. Keep it close until we're back at the embassy. I prefer to take bad news in the comfort of my office. Aren't you going to introduce me to your capable companion? Can he be trusted? I found it pays to be prudent about the company you keep in Paradise. The Empire doesn't have many friends on these shores.
Hey, not with that attitude.
I'm charmed. I take it you had business with the Clavager? Poor fellow. It was the bear that killed him, of course. This wilderness has been a little too wild of late. I'm no woodsman, but I'm inclined to agree. We heard alarming reports of a blight in the wilderness, and a strange corruption moving toward the city. The changes in the ecosystem are expected, but this one was progressing too rapidly to ignore. We tracked the corruption all the way here, but all we found was that creature gone mad. So, the rumors of plague were true. The situation is more dire than I imagined. We need a plan of action before whatever this is consumes the living lands.
We are here. Come to us. Commune with us. We have waited for you. Come.
What's the matter? Can you hear me? Well, that's encouraging. The Emperor trusts your judgment, and so do I. Whatever you think is best, I'll support it. You know something of our troubles. That much is clear. What would you have us do? You suspect a connection. Interesting. Ardra is said to be filled with essence, soul stuff. Maybe the essence will respond to a godlike's touch. Just be careful. The Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
Take it slow. We'll be right here.
It is you. Come closer. We feared you were but a dream. We wake from seasons of slumber. We have been waiting. A colony of insects, the many united by one purpose. Mycelia twining through the loam, taking and giving in equal measure. We are the ache in the land, the roots that run deep. And you are familiar to us. Our memories are fractured, but you too are alone in your strangeness. Godlike. This term means nothing to us. But why would you belong to another, shackled to their will? Shackled like us to rot and corruption. It spreads and festers and seeps and crawls. Poor bear, poor us, poor you. Yes, the air sings with its spores. It is everywhere. We can feel it. We fear it. We can see where it spreads. It is an infection. A foreign body invades. The host fights back. We feel the pain of this intrusion. It overwhelms us. If an animal sickens after a fight, as it howls and sings its agony, what do you do? Nurse it, care for it, grow it like the vines. We were loved once, perhaps. We remember, almost. A thought, like motion in the water. The rot festers. We could suck the poison out, let green things grow in its place, and we could give you the gift of our healing touch. But a favor for a favor. Would you help us in return when we ask it? We offer you the power to heal and be healed, and you would decide. Do you wish this? A favor for a favor then? This place shall heal, and you shall know our power. We tire. New again this world, new again words. We will find you soon.
Incredible. Envoy, I don't know what you did, but that was miraculous.
You all right? You look like you were in a trance for several minutes.
What happened? What can you recall? Spare no detail. An attack on your very soul. Well, such an event could have killed someone, or worse.
Be careful where you go saying that. Nowadays, that kind of talk makes people nervous.
Inquisitor Ludwig will need to hear of this. I've agreed to share my findings with the Steel Garrote, as long as they do the same. Not that she has any interest in ecology. Ludwig is obsessed with our security. Sees enemies lurking around every corner. The steel garrote provide us some much-needed protection, but they answer only to themselves. We have our interest in the living lands, and they have theirs. A mutually beneficial arrangement. Stay out of their way, and they'll return the favor. Ah, you're going to be troublesome, aren't you? At least you're on our side. We'll talk more at the embassy. I'll ensure the Paradise militia give you free passage into the city. Ah, Envoy, what you've done here is truly amazing. Let's keep up the good work, eh?
Just watch your step. There are swaths of the city barely more civilized than this. Whatever the Inquisitor's like, she can't be worse than that there. Can she? You are full of surprises, Envoy. I'd heard godlikes have strange powers, but I'd never known one to heal an entire growth. Guess your Emperor really did seem the right person for the job, huh? Still, you have your work cut out for you in Paradise. Enjoy the calm while you can.
The path to Paradise is a tad overgrown, but I can find my way back.
Hilgard doesn't seem like the kind of man you'd send to the frontier, does he? You seem... much better suited to it.